Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the W.A.K cast. We want to start off by
Woo!
saying Merry Christmas and
Happy
Happy Holidays,
holidays.
all you guys. It was actually a
Yeah,
pretty dope Christmas for a lot of us. So
it was
we're just
great.
gonna we're
Hope
just
you
gonna
guys had
talk
a good
about that
Happy New
holiday.
stuff.
Year.
We're
Because
glad
this
to
Yeah,
is our
come back
first
though.
episode of 2024.
It's gonna be technically, the
it
first episode, but
it
this is the
is.
holiday special too, so we're doing like a bit of both.
Yeah, I actually, in the description of the last video, I actually posted on there. I was like, sorry that this isn't a conventional like Christmas episode, but that's why, because we are doing this.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna show off some stuff. We're gonna talk about all the great things that happened in 2023 and what we can kind of look forward to for next year, because honestly, we were
Not a whole lot
spoiled
yet,
this year,
at least when it
but
comes to gaming and movies that we are interested
yeah,
in. But let us know if we're missing anything as we go over it. But Christmas, guys, how was it?
yeah. Christmas was fire. I did technically two Christmases because I went to Justin's afterwards.
Nice.
Got a sweet comforter, but mostly like I got a lot of gift cards this year, so I just used those gift cards to get things that I wanted. And
Yeah.
one of those things is something that the
Oh
the
yeah.
child in me almost pooped his pants over, but I now officially own a master sword. It
Yeah.
is beautiful. It mounts on the wall as well, which I'll have to do that when I get the actual wall up here. But yeah, it's got some sick weight to it. It's got some edges on it.
That's dope.
Got a freaking master sword, folks. It's like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
and
Nice.
and what's that we're peeping behind you, Justin?
What you
That's a
got in that
keyblade.
corner? Oh, that is
I've had it for
Sora's
many years.
keyblade.
No, not that we've seen in the background several episodes.
I got. Oh my goodness. So other than just getting increasingly paler, I got a bass guitar for Christmas, and I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. So like, this is what it looks like.
It's so
It's
beautiful.
so clean. It's so crazy. That's just ridiculous,
Yeah.
bro.
And now a lot of you may be thinking, well, what kind of brand guitar is that? Can I
And
get
as
me
you can
one of
see, that is
those?
a
You
children's
can't,
guitar.
bro.
You
Yeah,
cannot.
Right?
That is a one of a
Custom
kind.
built. It is a
custom
one of
built.
a kind. This is the first guitar that these people have made.
These people.
And who would those people be,
Oh,
Justin?
We're
Who
just
would
not
those people
gonna
be?
tie any last names to anybody.
You could clearly see it on that bass.
that's
But
funny.
yeah,
Well, it's children's guitar. That's what it says.
one of one. So
You know,
if you
one of
Google that
one.
company, you're not gonna find
You can't get you one of them unless you
it.
just
Yeah.
rip it off. But don't do
But yeah, so
Yeah. But don't do that, because then there'll be lawyers and all bunch of crazy stuff.
I also got a lot of cool stuff. None of it's like really nearby. I got a lot of records and books that I'm super excited about.
Nice.
Like not only I got the Spider Verse album, that dot cover,
Amazing.
bro. I
It's
actually should have
so
grabbed
cool.
that to show off. God damn it. We'll have to edit it in. But I
Yeah,
also got
it's
the art
fire.
book to go along. So, bro, it's
nice.
great. And I got this sick
Man,
mug you'll be seeing me sipping out of. Peep that Lord of the Rings.
Oh, good
It's
another
lord.
thing too. I didn't mention it, but another thing I got this Christmas is this laptop here that I'm
Yeah,
using. I
nice.
might look a little cleaner to the
a little
audience. That
more
is my
crisp.
new
It
I
is,
laptop.
got
speaking solely on what it is, like it's a good laptop. It's the red HP. It's beautiful. I me myself actually was saving up for that specific laptop, so that's
nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's clean as shit.
So
But
good. It's so fast, dude. It's so fast. I like hit the power button and it's on, and I'm like, whoa! I've never had a computer
yeah.
where it's like
Oh,
I can turn it
HP is
on and
my
it just turns
favorite.
on. It's like, what's your
Said I'm ready
password?
to
I'm like,
go.
oh shit!
So another thing we kind of talked about on this a little while back, which this was my biggest gift from my mom, was we talked about the movie Talk to Me.
Oh
And I
yeah,
actually now have the ceramic hand and the candle placement, which also came with a really cool 4K version of the movie, which I have not seen
that
yet.
is so cool.
I don't
That's
want to not
dope.
sleep. So yeah. So yeah, that was the big gift from my mom. Super big fan of that movie.
Yeah, no,
That's just that's
that's some
fire.
crazy merch. Dude,
Right.
also for Christmas, Sarah and I got to dog sit for a friend, and that was the best. So we had a little
Yes,
pupper with
sir.
us for the holidays. And
Would you
that
get
was just such a treat.
would you get the pupper, man? Would you get the
Ton we
pupper?
just we fed them way too many treats.
Tons of love and
She had
treat.
tons of love and treats.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
yeah. It was too last minute for me to actually like get like a toy or something for them, but
That's
their mom
fair.
brought over a bunch of their
To be
favorite
fair, I
toys and
didn't get
stuff. So
anything for my cats because they're
damn, bro.
assholes.
Yeah, my
Y'all
cats
been
are savages. I don't know if
And
I
it's
mean
like
they
you're lucky
have
I don't
lots of
throw you out on
shit.
the street. That's your Christmas present.
If you
Stay
come up
here for
here,
the year.
it's like I have infants because there's cat toys all over my room. So I mean, they're well taken
one day
care
I
of.
hope to be a dog parent and have that same problems.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually
Yeah.
hoping to get a puppy soon. That would
Nice.
be great.
But yeah, holidays were good, and 2023 was a really
Oh,
good year. I
banger.
don't know if anybody saw it coming. I like 2022 was a good year for gaming, I guess I'm talking about
So like,
specifically. But I don't remember
seriously,
people being like, "Oh, 2023 is going to be lit." Like I remember going into 2023 like knowing there were some bangers, but I didn't
well, you got
expect it
to
to be
Yeah,
imagine
so hype.
like I feel like 2020 was like bad
yeah.
because of COVID, and then 2021 was also bad. And
Because
I
yeah,
don't remember the reason why
Still because of
2021 was
COVID.
bad. Wasn't
yeah,
everything on fire? No, everything was on fire this year, right?
yeah,
This was the year
Oh
everything was
yeah.
on fire. It was literally fire.
Oh my god.
yeah,
Oh right.
yeah. But
Yo,
like, yeah, even when we
2023 was so
started
great. The planet burst into flames.
even when we started this year, like we didn't even have a release date for Spider-Man 2 and whatnot. Like we went in so oblivious to how great this year was going to be for gaming. And like one
Bro,
game I specifically want to talk about because it got snuffed, and I think it's due to all the controversy, is Hogwarts Legacy.
bro, which
Can we
started this
finally
year.
can we finally talk about like how fire of a game that was without
That
I
game
people
is
still
getting
great.
haven't played it. I'm about to get it though. I'm about
oh
to.
It's one of
my.
those things where it's like I just feel like it does really good with what it's trying to do, and I like what it's trying to do is basically tell like a Harry Potter world, like a Wizarding World story,
Yeah.
just how like the books would present the story. I feel like some people are going into it being like, I want to be a student at Hogwarts, and like you are,
Yeah.
and like you go to some classes,
But
but like
that's
this is
not like
not a
the gist of
Hogwarts
it.
simulator.
Yeah.
This is a story, and I just feel like they did a good job. And the amount of density involved with that story, there was a ton of extra like side quests and stuff to do.
Yeah.
Which, like,
I
as
feel like
people like went into, I
a
feel
lot
like,
of it's rewarding though.
yeah. Well, I
You
feel like
know?
one of the complaints I got is that like once you explore everything, like it feels a little bit more shallow than what it looks like. But also at the same time, like that's like you went around and looked at everything.
Like you
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
like
you
I
100% of the game, and you're like, I just wish there were
Man.
more. And I feel like that's not a
should have
bad
been 110%able.
right. Like I
Right.
just feel like that's not a bad
Should have been
complaint.
like
It's like if
Hollow
your
Knight and
complaint
you
is
can
like,
get like
oh, it's just like I want
180%.
there to be more of this.
Yeah, you could have done it like Arkham Knight, where they were 220% the game, and
Which
all
was
you get
Yeah.
is a damn bat suit with a gold symbol. And like, geez,
But no, yeah,
Louise.
but I also
Nah, but
really like that light puzzle gameplay.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited
Yo,
for it.
something
It's
I want
finally
to
on
talk about.
sale, and I'm gonna get
Right,
it.
you haven't played the game, but Alex, those motherfucking closets with the triangles, right?
Mhm.
And there's three circles, and there's one up top and one on the bottom.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to figure out the code?
I'm pretty sure I ended up doing YouTube for how
Ah,
to figure that out because it was like that and the demigods locations, the Daedalian
Don't tell
keys,
me
like
these things.
all that shit. I was like, I don't want to do this. So I
all
just
right, I'm
looked at
trying not to spoil it
locations.
for it, but I decoded that by myself. Like I sat there, I was like, "Oh, get it," and like I would go to the buttons and like siphon through all the options. And I was like, "What is going on?" Then
Nice.
Yeah.
eventually, I like pieced it together, and I
You
saw
do it.
like five of them. And then I was in the attic, and there is like a book that tells you the rules to those doors, like the whole time.
Oh,
Well,
It just
yeah.
straight up tells you it's like what
A
I was
lot of the
supposed to come to this
puzzles.
one first.
Yeah, a lot of the
rip.
puzzles you'll figure it out with like if you do a handhold through the first puzzle, then the rest of them you'll be like, "Oh, I can do this," you know. So they didn't make
No,
it
the
too
Daedalian keys
hard.
are the only ones that are like
I'm not worried
because
about it.
that's reaction
I'm
based.
super good at puzzle games.
I
And
was
by
about to
super good, I
say
mean I'm probably pretty mediocre, but I
I'm
enjoy them.
actually replaying it now because I haven't played it since I beat it at launch
Bro,
and like
I
it
might
still
download it after this.
stands.
I'm gonna
It's
get
still
paid
good.
It's a
next
great
week,
game.
and
No,
then I'm
yeah.
gonna get it.
Honestly, like
It's gonna be dope.
I was Hufflepuff, and then I made the
You get
rest.
to choose, I assume.
I think
Yeah,
I think
you
it's
can
funny that they
either
give you four characters to make.
Yeah, they want you to do it to try each house.
It's like make one for each house.
Well, it's
Nice.
like the sorting hat will put you in a house based off of like questions that he asked
Oh,
you. And
nice.
then if you don't want to be in that house, he can be
Yeah,
like,
you can
well,
choose.
what did you have in mind? And then you'll
Oh,
tell him and
hilarious.
he'll be like, Gryffindor. And like, it's pretty funny.
Oh,
So,
I
Yeah, I was
might just go
Hufflepuff.
with the
Fucking
questions.
bitch.
Although,
yeah,
are the
You get
questions
to
kind of whack?
see something that I
not
thought was
really.
really, really great about the
It's a
game
good
too was the amount of
outfitter.
effort they put into like Hogwarts and like how it looked. Like the way that this game looked was fantastic.
That's what I've heard.
Like
People really love
seeing
exploring
each
Hogwarts.
room, like each house room and shit,
Yeah.
and like seeing like all these like the unicorns and the hippogriffs up close and like all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
No, I'm excited.
wow.
And you
And
actually
keep in
get to
mind,
be able.
this was technically an indie game
Yeah, that turned them into a
Right.
triple A
that
studio.
instantly turned them into AAA, and now they have multiple projects going.
Yeah.
And they
No,
didn't say shit during the Game Awards, so they might be working on something crazy.
it
Well, we
was
know
like
they're working on the
Well, actually, I don't think they were invited to the Game
whatever.
Awards.
maybe not. Oh
Damn.
yeah, because they didn't get nominated for a single damn thing.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
is totally because of controversy.
But I was gonna say, like, the fact that every single square inch of the castle is explorable, even like the parts they don't show in the films was cool. And if you're
Nice.
Slytherin, you can obviously go to the Slytherin bathroom, and there's even the Chamber of
And I do
Secrets
just want to mention,
entrance.
at
Like
least,
everything is so detailed. It's
I do want to
beautiful.
speak to the controversy a little bit real quick and just, I don't know about y'all, but my stance is a separation between artist and art. So like, I don't care what drama y'all are talking about with her, but like the Harry Potter universe is like an art,
Yeah.
and I just believe in that separation.
Yeah. I
Like I
mean,
don't
that's
think,
fair.
yeah, and that's just my stance on
It's a touchy
everything. There's
subject,
some
but
artists that I don't like personally, and I try not to let that bias affect my judgment of their art. So
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, but
But
another.
yeah,
Oh, what?
I think we were probably gonna say the same thing. Keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, like moving on to another 2023 release. Let's see. We got Jedi Survivor, which also got pretty swept under the rug, which makes me
I still haven't
sad.
played that, man. I want
Yeah,
to,
I
but I
haven't played
can't
it yet
afford it.
either.
I mean, the
I'm
sales were
sorry.
Dude, I'm
good,
gonna
so
pay a
it's
shit
not
bucks
like,
out, buy all of us Jedi Survivor.
yeah, it's not that like it didn't do well because it did. It did fantastic. It's
I
just
think it
I
just got
don't think a
swept.
lot of
Yeah.
people, yeah, I think it got swept. I don't think a lot of
No,
people
if
took
so
the
many
time
bangers
to
didn't drop, it
There was
could have
play the
won
whole
a
thing.
something
tidal wave
tough.
of fingers.
Yeah, and it makes me a little sad because like this one you can tell that they just really evolved. They really took their time with the lore of like the Jedi and they made Cal more in tune with his force abilities and they slayed it, dude. It was probably it's up there with on the top 3
Bro,
best Star Wars games ever made in my
this is like a
opinion.
little off topic, but like low key, I've been playing a lot of Skywalker Saga
The Lego
Oh
game.
yeah, the Lego game.
and like talking about Jedi Survivor. I just want like a high scale, create my own Jedi or Sith or bounty hunter.
Yeah, like if they took
Give
the
me Star
online
Wars Gate.
premise and move
Star
it
Wars.
to RPG and consoles.
Well,
Well, we
you're
were
getting a bounty hunter game.
Remake KOTOR.
yeah, we were supposed to get Knights of the Old Republic remake. It was announced like 2 years ago, and I don't know if that's still happening
You know,
I
there's
no, I
two
think that
dudes that are like still working on it after it got canceled, and they're just waiting.
right,
They're
yeah,
just
it got
waiting for their
canceled.
time to be like, we've been working on this game still.
Yeah, which is crazy because they're
I don't
working
know.
on
We'll see.
stuff like Star Wars Eclipse, which is like all new original, and then you've got the
Oh yeah,
Outlaws game coming
Yeah, how
out.
much do we know about Eclipse?
I forgot
Uh,
about Eclipse.
so
Not
all they've
much.
really said is that it's an original story that has hundreds of playable characters in the sense that when your character dies, he is not coming back, and you will continue the story through
Mm,
a different perspective through
that
another
makes me
character.
nervous.
So, I mean, you can play through it as one character, but you just can't die because if you do,
That's that makes
you'll
me think
switch
it's gonna
perspective.
seem like Watch Dogs or something.
Well, it's solely story based. Like, I think this is going to be a game that it kind of maybe might play like a Telltale game in a
Oh, okay, I see what
sense.
you're saying.
Yeah, like
I
Or
mean, I'm
you
more of
don't.
like a
excited.
cinematic adventure than it is a.
It looks
Yeah,
weird. Like
I'm
it
always
definitely
excited for a
doesn't.
new
It doesn't look
like
like a
gameplay
conventional
style.
game. Yeah.
Hmm,
So it could
I
be
don't know.
fun.
See, yeah, isn't there a different one coming out too?
There's Outlaw, which is about the girl and her droid, and you're essentially a smuggler.
Yeah.
And they've tried to it seems like there's gonna be like star battles and whatnot, so it's a little bit akin to Starfield in my
And
opinion, but
Yeah, it seems
maybe
like there's
not on the same scale as Starfield.
yeah, I just wanted to remake KOTOR after all of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Respawn announced that they immediately just greenlit production on the final Jedi game for the series. So, I mean, they're gonna go hard as shit. We're gonna know what that's gonna look like probably within the next year, which is insane.
dope. All right, but we gotta talk about. Now I can't do it. Now we gotta talk about Final
It
Fantasy.
completely threw you off.
It's
Oh
fine,
my
dude. Final
lord!
Fantasy threw me off. I was not expecting that game. That was probably out of all
Bro,
the
no,
bangers
Final
that came
Fantasy
out this year.
16, absolutely.
That one has sat with me with just how incredible it was, and it was my first Final Fantasy, so I think that helped
That's
with that
crazy for me
impact.
is that it was your first Final Fantasy, and like I feel like that
Yeah,
was a pretty good one to come in on,
It
especially
was
with the stakes
bonkers.
and everything. The mechanics are really fun.
Beautiful
Of
though,
course,
and
you
when
got people being like, "It's not an RPG; it's an action game." But like Final Fantasy literally changes all the time, so it's whatever.
it's the Final Fantasy. It can be
There's
whatever you
yeah.
want.
16 of them. If they were the same game every single time, they wouldn't be as big as they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hyped it up a lot on this channel too. Like we spent, I think, 2 episodes where we talked about Final Fantasy
Yeah,
16.
probably. But that hype came
Yeah,
out of nowhere,
makes
dude.
sense.
I
Yeah,
literally was sleeping on it until I played the demo. And then I was like, what?
and
This is
I
fucking
regrettably
fire.
still have not finished it. It's
Right? And
just
now,
sitting
yeah.
in my library.
And now there's
Right, that
DLC,
game
but we'll
was so
talk about
massive
that
it
later.
triggered Alex's anxiety.
Yeah, it came
There
out
was
at a
a lot
rough time during the
visually,
year.
emotionally, the music, bro, all that together. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
Makes
I
sense,
got pretty
especially with Titan
far.
Fight. It's just like
I couldn't do it. It was crazy. I plan on finishing it at some point.
But that, and then obviously Baldur's Gate 3, which we don't have to spend a lot of time on, but like, bro,
Game of the year,
yeah, of
just
course, Baldur's
swept.
Gate 3 Game of the Year, swept at the Game Awards. Really good game. I am playing it again now with a different character. I feel like every episode.
I'm
and
telling you, bro.
yo, like once a week, I'm like, I should just hit Justin up. We should just start a new campaign.
Yeah,
I'm
we
down.
started like 3 and then never finished it.
I'm refusing to delete it. I'm like, nah, I can't delete Baldur's Gate. I
What
have to leave that
what I've been having an
massive thing
idea
on.
for recently is like if we start a campaign, I'm just gonna pick a character that's already in the game, and I'm them from the future.
What?
I pick a character that's already in the game, and I'm them from the future. So like they're my backstory, and like I have to make sure that they stay alive or I
Bro,
die.
see, you've
And we
done
just never
built a
use them.
whole new lore around Baldur's Gate 3.
Hell
That's
yeah, the
insane.
possibilities are endless.
Bro, yeah, the see, I don't know,
Yeah,
like
like
it
Maul.
is a
I could just
fire
be
game,
Maul from the
but
future.
it's so vast. Like I don't know where to start
It's
every
high extent.
time.
I know it's very overwhelming for. I feel like
Nah,
people like
so
us.
something that I found that actually is helping me progress through the game a little bit now is like so they've updated the games. There's two more game modes. There's honor mode, which is like crazy hard, and then there's custom, so you can like kind of customize the rules. But in the customizable rules section, you can do things like make it a single save, which means you can't save scum. It won't let you just load up for choices and stuff. So you have to stick with your consequences.
Oof.
And that's helping me go too because like I just feel like saving's really faster now and it's just made it kind of a little bit faster.
Ow.
uh,
Holy
that's what you
shit.
get for save scumming. He just admitted to it.
Yeah.
We got him.
I can't.
And
I've
then you
been in
said it
myself.
and God rolled in that 20 and just fucking hit you with something, dude. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, but you
god.
can also do stuff like I don't know. It's just if certain things make you feel uncomfortable. Like you could turn off enemy critical hits. You just turn them off. They can no longer get critical hits against you.
The hell.
Yeah, easy mode.
You know, you
Right.
can make it to where death saves are no longer a thing.
What, you just die, or you just
I don't
can't
know.
die?
I haven't tested it
You
out.
just die or
I don't know
yeah,
if you
that's life.
die or you just automatically like get back up. You just faint like in
See,
Pokemon.
Justin's the resident Baldur's Gate fiend. Like I don't know any of that shit really. I'm just
Yeah,
it's
it
fun. It's
progresses
an
in our
adventure
knowledge. Justin's
game
put more time in. I'll get there eventually,
and
but
it's
there's so many other
silly.
things to
That's
play
all I
right now.
know.
What's crazy is most of my time has just been spent in the menus as I keep making characters. Another thing
Okay.
switching over to single saves has allowed me to do is because now all my files are single saves. I can have so many characters. They're not taking up as much space.
You just need like a Baldur's Gate character creator, and that's all. You just spend all your time making characters and
It's a
saving
separate
them.
game.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, do it. Justin will buy that shit up, man. Arian, get
Character
that shit
creator,
out.
the game.
All right, but what else came? What else y'all hyped about from this year?
Well,
From this
I
year,
mean, I feel like me personally, I can't let this continue without bringing up Capcom with Resident Evil 4 and just a beautiful, beautiful remake of one of the best games in the entire
Yeah, they did a
series.
really good job with
And that's
that.
what I was saying when I was sending that meme. I was like, I feel like Capcom themselves know the massive reception around Chris and how many fans love Chris's insane ability to just be like the Hulk, even though he's a normal man. So in 4, they were like, well, we got to do something with Leon. So Leon's roundhouse kicks create like hurricanes. Like he just is a beast with them legs in this game. Leon never skipped leg day up until this. And it's awesome, dude. It adds a mechanic to the game where in the original it was like you could get them down, run up and just kill them. But now if there's an army coming, you shoot the dude in the front in the kneecaps, and when he drops, you just roundhouse and like everyone flies backwards. That shit is awesome, dude.
Nice.
And they did such like they did reinvent some things like Salazar. They redesigned his character for the game because I guess people said he wasn't scary in the original. So like they took a lot of different liberties. There's a part of the game where you play as Ashley, which was kind of insane. And then Mercenaries mode seems to be where Capcom puts in the best work because Mercenaries is just so good. And for you've got you play as Wesker in Mercenaries, you play as Hunk. Like there's so many good characters to just run it over and over and over again with. And the one thing that was super cool, they added kind of like a cosmetic system where it's like you would get points throughout the game and then you could go to the menu and buy different things to put on Leon and Ashley. So Leon has like a winter soldier mask, or you can do like the 60s glasses with the pinstripe suit and shit. Like
Oh, that's
they made it really cool to just play around with different styles. So I do think in terms of remakes,
Yeah.
again, Capcom is like, this is how you're supposed to do a
Yeah,
remake,
that
and
sounds
they
sick.
drop a just a banger Resident Evil game. And now we know that 5 remake will probably be coming this year or next year. So great. We're going back to Africa and doing the scary shit with the tentacle face people. So I'm
Ooh.
hyped. I'm hyped. But yeah, if you really want to get down into one of the biggest releases of the year, we've got
Ooh.
MK1, Mortal Kombat 1, just reinventing the genre one more time. We've reset the
Yo,
timeline, and it
I
was
do have
so
to
good.
go real quick. I mean, Street Fighter 6 also came out this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
was gonna
got
Also,
best
say
Street
because
fighting
Fighter.
game.
Street Fighter 6 kind of popped because MK1 kind of it released to not as hype criticism as
But still, I mean,
the
those are
one.
the two,
But
like
Yeah,
it's Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like those are the two biggest fighting games. Both of them had a drop this year.
which
So it's
usually
good year.
I'm not on board with like a lot of loud complaints, but when it comes to Mortal Kombat, it's like, yeah, there's definitely a lack of content. And I can see that they're maybe trying to pad that out for us, but
yeah, I
it's
think it'll
like
get better.
I
dropping
mean, Mortal Kombat's
characters
always
every
been one of those
month.
games where they kind of look to longevity. Like that's why
Yeah.
sometimes their character packs have like fucking 12 people in them. It's like, yeah, we're gonna give you one a month
Yeah, and we
for
know
like
they're
a
probably going
year.
to do character pack 2, and Ed Boon did already say that the tease, the after credit tease with Lord Havoc coming from the Chaos Realm, that is actually going to be akin to what the Aftermath DLC was for 11, where it's like this 12-hour extra story where you play as all new characters that you didn't play as in story mode. So it's actually
Uh,
not a tease for MK2, it was a tease for a massive story DLC coming. So,
Mm,
like I said, they're
That's cool.
trying to keep it interesting with the invasion seasons and dropping characters. But I think if they don't do something quick, that game, although it's doing great online, I think it'll die out if there's no content to keep people coming, which
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, and
Well, I
if
mean,
they
you know
they
they're
need
gonna
to
do the
tweak
tournament.
invasions.
The
Yeah,
tournament is
they need
gonna
to
force
add
people to be
something.
involved.
Like invasions is just not
Just bring the
enough. They
crypt
need
back.
to add something. Yeah, there's a lot of crypt
Yeah.
complaints
But you
out
Like
know,
you
it's
know,
there.
also like, I mean, they're not totally innocent. Like it is money focused, you know.
right.
Yeah.
I
So I
mean,
mean,
it
they're
was one
trying
of
to
the.
draw it
I think it
out
was
so
the
they can
first.
keep getting money
It
from
probably wasn't
viewers.
the first, but like it was over $100 at launch. So like people are upset about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the
But it was still a fun game.
microtransactions are a
Yeah.
little wild. Like I do like I appreciate the fact that they rekindled the first argument where it was like, well, you're paying $10 for one fatality, so now you're paying $10 for multiple fatalities as a pack. That
Yeah.
kind of sits a little bit better, but then you're charging like $10 for a skin, and a lot of the people that are grinding specific characters aren't getting good gear or good outfits for that character. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. They've got some tweaks, but I mean, I'm a
I feel like
diehard
it's got
MK
similar
fan.
like problems that Injustice 2 did.
Yeah.
Uh,
When Justice 2 just dropped to like basically, yeah, the same thing. There was just nothing. It was like you
Like,
finish the story and then you do these multiverse towers for gear, and that's it. That's all you
but then
got.
it wasn't the gear for your shit. So you're just like, I don't
Yeah, it
want to
was
do that.
random.
oh.
It was like you could be a Ninja Turtle, and the only way you're guaranteed gear is to level him up. But you could do 20 fights in a row, and each gear you get is like, oh, this is for Brainiac, this is for Grodd, this is for Flash. You're like, what the
No,
fuck?
you don't
That's
get the
not who I
really
am.
cool dope shit for just leveling them up. Like it's either random or you
Yeah,
gotta spend money.
Mm.
but they did apply that exact same system to MK1. Like you have the character
Yeah, you're
mastery,
leveling up
and
random
you
people.
just you level them up, you rank them up, you'll unlock taunts, brutalities, gear.
Right.
So they kept the same like Injustice 2 concept for MK1. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think it still stands to be mentioned as one of the greats of the year. I mean, like I said, online mode is still running hard. There's still people getting ready for what Evo is going to do with MK1. So,
I mean, yeah, that is gonna be cool.
um,
Because the fighting is really good. It's fun to
yeah.
play. All the characters are really fun. Like,
And yeah, dwindling down
Yeah.
the list. We're going to
Spider
be,
Man.
yeah, we're looking at
I
Spider-Man.
mean, yeah, Spider-Man was.
We talked about that game a lot.
Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
think we need to go into it. They know. Everyone
We
knows.
know.
unfortunately, yeah, it got absolutely snubbed at the Game Awards, but I do think that in terms of like being a sequel to what the 2018 Spider-Man was, I think it wasn't better than the 2018, but it was up there.
Oh,
It
I
was
It's
up.
I thought it
like
was better. I'm one of the few
I
people.
I
just
It's
don't
think
a better
like
game.
I think
I get
mechanically it was better, and like
well,
the
I
story.
get
I
yeah.
do think that one was like
That's what it
written
is. It's
a
like
little bit.
everybody's like, look at the tragedy that was one. Like, Peter had to lose Doc Ock. He lost Mary Jane. Miles lost his father. Like, one had so
That's
many
true.
emotional beats that kept the story just like snowballing downhill until by the end of it, the confrontation between Spider-Man and Doc, you were just in it. Like their
Yeah, that's a good
hatred and
point.
pain and toward each other was crazy for that final scene, which the second one didn't hit that beat, but it did have, to me, another like deep rooted story because you're
Oh
watching
yeah,
Peter have to fight his best friend, and he wants to save his best friend, but he can't. And he's learning throughout the story that he can't. And to me, I think that's what makes Spider-Man. Like people love Spider-Man, but when you really deep dive his character, Spider-Man's life sucks. He has nothing. He loses everyone, and it's just sad that but he never gives up. That's like the big thing. He never loses faith in Spider-Man, and I think this game did fantastic at portraying
Yeah,
that.
I did great. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I just think one was a little bit better
One put you in your
and better
feels.
circumstances
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
two did. I mean, two did have Harry, yeah, and I did really like Harry's character,
Yeah,
but
Harry was
also
dope.
like two had more things that like pissed me off. So I feel like one,
But
I was
still
like,
minor
great.
inconveniences. Like overall, both still
Two, I
like
was like,
top
yo, this
tier.
works.
Yeah.
Why do I do that?
I mean, I noticed right off the bat that there was definitely a difficulty scale for two, but once you got adjusted to it, like an hour into the game, like, yeah, then you up the difficulty back to ultimate mode because you were like, yeah, this is how you should be playing this shit. But yeah, it was beautiful. And I think obviously it's going to be years and years and years before Spider-Man 3 comes out, but we know that they're closing the chapter. So we have Spider-Man 3 to look forward to as an end to Insomniac Spider-Man story. And they have some room to be very emotional and very brutal with this story.
I'm
And
ready
I
for that new game
wonder
plus
how
Spider-Man.
deep
I'm
they're going
telling
to
you.
go.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I mean, we know, and it's interesting because thinking about it, it's like, so we know there's Peter and Miles. At the end of two, they tease Silk. And due to, the douchebag leaks, we know that there's a good chance Venom will be back as a hero. So going into Spider-Man 3, you've got four different web slingers. It's like they have an emotional story they can tell with Peter building this team to fight one more time. Maybe Peter dies in the story, and they could go hard with this
Well,
shit,
and
dude.
Green Goblin and Moreland are gonna fuck everything up.
Yo, if Moreland comes in, his game over, bro. I'm
Yeah.
running.
And yeah, that'll just
Uh,
be a very emotional game, I think, because Miles will be grown up by then, like really grown up. And if we really lose Peter at the end of this game, it's like it just sets up for Miles to be the one and only Spider-Man. He's got Harry now, he's got Silk, he can train them a little bit like Peter trained him. And that's the end, and then they move on to something new. So I love this story that they've been telling. I mean, like we said, I think two wasn't as gripping as one, but to be a sequel to follow up to what one was, it was great.
I tell you something they do need to like stop doing, and that is like, yo, stop getting like older white dudes to try and make a cool Miles. Like, just stop. Just keep him
I
as
don't
a
think they
regular
are.
ass Miles.
At least in the second game, in the Miles
Yeah.
game, they got a lot of praise for Miles. So I don't know. Maybe it was different people doing it for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and of course we know he's gonna have to ditch that suit because the whole
Bro,
internet
that's what I'm
hates
talking
that
about. That
suit.
Well, yeah, that
GES.
too is,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's gonna have to ditch that. I do
It
see like it
was
would
so bad.
be I did see somebody say on like Instagram or something under like a concept art post, it was like imagine Miles gets the ultimate Spider-Man suit for the third game. And I was like, that would be hot. Like, we know they've done their variation of it, but to give him the actual spandex black with the like 3D red spider right there, that shit would look so good in that game, I think. And they just take it back to the old school. Or, I mean, Miles being New York's primary Spider Man now, he might go in with more of a red and blue suit for three, which would be interesting.
Yeah, true.
But yeah,
Bro,
Spider-Man
I
2
hate that suit at
banger,
Spider-Man
the
2
end.
banger.
banger. And dwindling out the list, we cannot move on without bringing up Cyberpunk, the Phantom Liberty, and just how much CD Project. I mean, I
Well, this is
want to.
getting into the DLCs, which tons of DLCs came out at the end of the year.
I mean, if you play it, it
I mean,
almost
I know
feels
it
as
feels
though
like a
it's
bigger
like its
game, but it's
own
technically a
thing.
DLC, which is crazy.
Yeah,
It got
it,
nominated like it was its own game, though.
Yeah, that's true.
which was insane. Yeah, which I mean, essentially, it was. I feel as though it was CD Projekt Red being like, let's make Cyberpunk 1.5. Let's tell another
Mm.
gripping story that we will
Get
be
me
able,
Idris Elba.
yeah, that we will be able to
Idris?
use
Idris.
moving forward into a Cyberpunk 2. In the sense that it even rewrites V's ending. Like it goes just insanely hard to where it like, well, if you played the main story mode, that ending's not it's not canon anymore. Like they just rewrote the damn story. And it was beautiful. They added new concepts, new weapons, new clothes, new cars. Like they just really rebuilt and added a new game, which I wish I could almost interview somebody from that company and be like, what was it like? You know, just like dropping the game, seeing all the hate, all the refunds, being like, this is it, our studio's done, we're screwed. And then, you know, to where they are now to be like, we're back, baby, we're AAA. Like that's
I
a
mean,
crazy
it took a lot
redemption
of effort. I feel like that was like their like CEO or president or whatever. We're like, nah, nah,
Do
y'all are
not
gonna make
lose
this a
faith.
good game. All
Yeah,
right.
they really did not want people to lose faith in Cyberpunk. And it's like now
And it worked
Cyberpunk
out.
has become so popular. We got Edge Runners. It was just announced recently that CD Projekt Red signed a deal to do a live action Cyberpunk series. They've got The Witcher 4 that they're planning to make now, you know. Like they came
Oh, they
back.
are
They
hard to do
almost
with it.
lost everything and they came back hard. That's fire, dude. Such a good redemption story of like listen to the fans. Just listen. Accept that
Yeah.
you fucked up. You dropped a bad game. Listen to what we want. And now you ask anybody, they're like, Cyberpunk? Well, Cyberpunk's fucking awesome, dude. You should play it. You know, I love that shit. Especially like I refunded my copy and I had
Yeah,
PlayStation take it from me because I just despise how bad the game was at launch.
I
And
never lost
then
faith.
yeah, I had
If
to
you're gonna make it,
rebuy
to
it,
make it.
buy the Ultimate Edition so I could play the Phantom Liberty.
I
Like,
just waited till it was good, and then I
beautiful.
bought it. I still haven't played it, but we'll get there. But yeah,
Yeah.
big year 2023,
An
just for
honorable,
games.
an honorable mention, actually. Texas Chainsaw. And I know not a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
people
smaller
built the
games came out.
hype.
I mean, a lot. So many games got. There's like Sonic Superstars and fucking
Yeah.
tons of
I'm
shit.
actually
Rise
surprised
of P. I was very
by their
excited
Oh, we
about.
studio
never.
too.
I also want to give a quick shout out to Tears of the Kingdom. That was a
Oh
pretty
right,
Oh
yeah,
big
yeah.
we
game.
should probably
Tears of
bring
the
it back.
Kingdom.
Mirage. You
Mhm.
know, a big year. I'm going just go through my wish list of all these games I still have to buy.
God of
It's
War
great.
Valhalla just surprisingly
Platoon, tons of
released.
good
DLC.
indie releases this year. Super hyped on them. Yeah,
Yep.
it
Yeah,
was
it
a good.
was a mass and yeah,
Bro, it wasn't
just
just games neither. Fucking in August, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out.
yeah.
Yeah, the movies were
We
pretty
got
good
Mutant
too.
Mayhem, which was
Mutant Mayhem,
beautiful.
obviously Spider Verse,
Across the Spider
my
Verse.
favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, Spider-Verse
Uh,
was like, I don't know, just seeing that in theaters, it just felt like a whole new movie going experience for me. Like it was nuts.
No, yeah,
Spider Verse,
it's
bro.
There it
beautiful, man. It's
is. There's
beautiful.
the album on vinyl.
I do think I like the first one more though.
Yeah.
Everyone
See,
is
again,
fine.
I
Everyone's
disagree, and
saying the
I'm like,
first one
nah.
was good. It was better than two, but I think two was fire. There was just so much. Oh,
The show off, bro.
No,
I
yeah.
forgot to do
Not
this
Spider Verse, Mutant
earlier.
Mayhem. Was there any other banger movies or TV series? Even
I mean, Twisted Metal was ended up
And Twisted
surprising a
Metal
lot
ended
of
up being pretty good.
people.
I did not have faith in it. Like to be honest, I was like,
I can't get it
We
oh,
up.
talked about it on the podcast. We were like, I don't think it's gonna be good. Like it's it doesn't seem like it's because the first trailer was so bad compared to what the show actually ended up being. Like Twisted Metal was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
there's that spot vinyl, baby, coming through the vinyl as you spin that record. Beautiful.
Um, let me think. I mean, what else did I watch this year besides The
Did
Office?
we say Barbie?
Oh,
Barbenheimer
Barbie,
took the
Barbie
world by
swept the
storm.
world. Yeah.
Barbie Swept the World. I don't know. I mean, it was okay.
I like Barbie. It was
Get out of
good.
here, bro. It was a good movie.
Yeah, Barbie was good.
It was a decent
And
movie.
me and Justin saw a
I think it
movie
got
last
overhyped for
night
me. Like people were
that
acting like it was the best movie, and I was like, "This is the average movie."
nah, definitely one of the best
Enjoyed the
movies of
experience.
2023 is Godzilla minus one. I mean,
Yeah, I need to watch that.
there was a part where on the way home, I was telling my brother, I was like, I almost fell asleep like the first 45 minutes because I was like, I want to see Godzilla. Like, what the hell is happening? But if you really wrap your head around what the story is, it's a great story because it takes place during World War II from the perspective of a Japanese soldier who comes home after the atom bombs have dropped and his family is gone. So it's them trying to rebuild from World War II. And
And
right
then
when they
fucking
start to get
Godzilla.
shit ready, Godzilla is here. And Godzilla woke up because we bombed Japan. That's what
Yeah.
stirred him from his sleep. So like it
No,
was a
don't give away too many
historical movie.
spoilers
No,
now.
it was a historical movie, but it was also a good Godzilla film. Like if you look at Godzilla
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
runtime, he's
Yeah,
maybe in
people
it
are
for
hype about
30,
it.
40 minutes. But
I
when
just
he
something I
shows up,
appreciated.
it's like, oh God,
Yeah, something I appreciated about that movie is I feel like Godzilla is like a sort of anti-hero
in
in a
America.
lot of media today. Like he shows up, he like fucks something else up that's like destroying everything, and then he's like, "All right, deuces," and
Yeah.
walks away. This Godzilla was just living in pain.
Yeah. I mean, he was just an
He just
angry,
destroyed
pissed
everything
off
like a rabid
creature.
animal.
Mm.
It was great to watch.
Like
Like,
complete, just
Yeah, I'm
lack.
gonna have to
well,
check it out.
one of the things that really hit home was like they wanted to make Godzilla more ferocious and more primal and more of like a horror type character. So everyone sits in the theaters, you all wait to see the nuclear breath. You're like, "Oh, it's going to be awesome." But
Don't give that away, dude.
when he
Bro,
does
yeah,
it,
stop spoiling shit.
I'm not, but like when he does it, it's different.
I'm not. But anyway, when this happens, yeah, I'm
Well,
excited.
what I'm saying is like America has made, like Justin said, Godzilla like a hero. Like the things that Godzilla does, you're like, oh, that's awesome. But in this movie, when he does it, you're like, oh, that's terrifying. That's devastating. Like, oh my God. Like he's not meant to be a good guy. And I think this movie
Yeah, yeah.
deserves its 98% audience
You get
score.
like
It's
cultural with
so
it because it's
good.
like, I mean, the Japanese people, they have
Yeah.
witnessed the devastation that no one else has ever witnessed firsthand. Like they
And
have,
they never will.
like
Yeah.
they, for real, like they had two nuclear bombs dropped on their country. Like there's still people alive today that remember seeing that shit. So many
Yeah.
people died, and like just like the like society's concept of like what truly horrifying is just so different to countries like ours or like a lot of European countries that like haven't felt that form of devastation.
Yeah,
What's funny
it's
is that's why
brutal.
I feel like you get a lot of similar concepts in like BBC content where like in fearful circumstances is like a destroyed city because they also went through a horrific bombing period during World War II as well. And it's just
Yeah.
like it's so few people see that level of destruction firsthand. And like our country's like never seen it. We the closest thing we have was 9/11, which is
Yeah.
horrible, but is like a fraction compared to what a nuclear bomb did to a
No,
country.
yeah. I think it's fair to agree with that. Like 9/11 was devastating. It was horrible, but it's nothing compared to having your entire country leveled. Like
Yeah.
that's just it's
All right, well,
sad.
let's go back to talking about movies and video games, y'all. Jesus
Hey
Christ.
man, the
But yeah, Godzilla -1, baby. Shit's a
yeah,
banger.
well, Godzilla brought that up. You know,
Yeah.
dude, like that's the type of thing it makes you
Yeah,
think
I mean, well,
about.
so did Oppenheimer. So
That's why
Like
this
that
movie
they
is
got
went in
about
on
people
it pretty
talking,
good.
Oppenheimer
man.
came out this year,
That's
which
why
did the
people are
same thing.
talking about it. It's like, wow, what a great Godzilla story. Yeah. It's so different. So yeah, that's going to lead us
24.
to what to look forward to next year, which at first I figured not a lot, but now looking at this list online, there's some crazy stuff coming out next year. Maybe not as hype as, this year, but to start it off, this is something I didn't even know was happening. We're getting an animated film based on the Lord of the Rings called the War of Rohirrim, which I don't know what that is, but we're getting a Lord of the Rings
Rohirrim.
anime.
The
Yeah.
Rohirrim are the horse riding people.
Oh,
To put it
nice.
in the most layman
It's like I
terms.
have to correct you. I
Okay, so
am the
yeah, it's
Smalalama.
just straight up. It's basically a Lord of the Rings anime film,
About the
based
Rohirrim,
around
dude.
them.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
From
sick.
who? Watch it be Netflix.
It's Kenji Kamayama, and it'll be distributed by Warner Brothers.
Cat. Okay.
So, but yeah, then we'll be looking at, if all goes according to plan, still, we'll be looking at Deadpool 3, which is just hype.
They're just dropping the most insane
So
shit for
much
that movie.
hype.
It's gonna be good. I think it'll be a fun time.
We do have the Ghostbusters sequel coming out, Frozen Empire, which looks pretty crazy if you've seen the trailer for that. Looks like Paul Rudd is finally living his childhood dreams and he is officially a Ghostbuster in this movie. So
Yeah.
that'll be sick. Looking at another Godzilla and Kong sequel, The New Empire, they finally started dropping a trailer and first look at that. So that's coming out. Marvel is dropping the Thunderbolts, which I completely forgot was even coming out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, their timeline has been a little off, but
Yeah.
they
Sonic the
should still
Hedgehog
keep releasing
3
stuff.
is on track to release this year. We know Shadow is going to be in that. Shadow's a
Oh,
big
Shadow.
player.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow is my favorite for some reason. It's because he roller skated. He didn't run. He was cool.
He's a bad
I
boy.
know a lot of people aren't too excited about Joker, but we are getting the
Oh
Joker
yeah.
sequel that is going to be a straight up musical, apparently. That's
Interesting.
got a lot of people severely put off. Looks like Venom 3 is coming out at the end of next year, which
Yo, what
should
if it's like you go and see the Joker in the theater and like while the movie is playing, like the poison gas enters the room?
the Joker's real. Bro, also Beetlejuice 2 is coming out next year. Tim Burton actually did
Beetlejuice
say he just,
2.
yeah,
Whoa.
Tim Burton finished it. He said it's
Okay,
ready to
Ted.
go.
Dang. All
Right.
right, so decent movies. Games though, also not as
Bro,
hype.
I was about to say we're getting a Winnie the Pooh sequel. We're also getting Legend of the White Dragon, which is Jason David Frank's last movie before he passed. Bill Skarsgård's The Crow is coming out next year. And
What?
we're doing an origin story to The Strangers, the horror
Oh, is
film
Bill
The
Skarsgård
Strangers.
gonna? Isn't that movie
Neat.
cursed?
No, well, it was announced they were redoing it, and then Jason Momoa was the Crow, and then he dropped out to do Aquaman, and then it was like they couldn't find somebody to do the Crow until they met Bill Skarsgård, and then
So they
he
got
stole the
Claw.
role. Yeah, so Bill Skarsgård, aka Pennywise, for those of you who aren't familiar with his real name, he's going to be doing the Crow. So yeah,
That should be dope. That's a
there's
pretty
some
solid
crazy
lineup.
stuff. Yeah. Oh, the thing that I was teasing earlier, though, in terms of games, this is insane because I don't even think they've announced this yet. But Telltale is doing The Wolf Among Us 2,
Mm.
Oh,
which
nice.
that was like their most successful property. So that's crazy. They just came back with The Expanse and now they're hitting it off with The Wolf
Nice.
Among
That'll be
Us
cool.
2.
I'll have to play
Yeah,
the
That's
first one finally. I mean, Tales from the Borderlands was one of my favorites, so
that's one of the ones I actually didn't play. I
that's
think it
great. If you like the Borderlands
Batman took me
universe,
away.
the first one is
Telltale's
good.
Batman.
Yeah, those
The
are
show
good.
was fire. But then yeah, we're probably gonna get New Game Plus for Spider-Man 2. Might
Woohoo.
get a
Ooh, New Game
DLC
Plus.
side story or something this
Hopefully.
year.
Bro, Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Final Fantasy
Final
Rebirth is
Fantasy
coming out. We're
Rebirth.
getting Final Fantasy 16 DLC, more DLC. We already got some. We're gonna get more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
Rebirth is
Yeah.
probably the hypest game of the year so far.
you
I mean, we're
know
getting like,
what's about to just absolutely dominate the multiplayer online fighting Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero.
yeah, well,
Oh
Tekken
my
8
god.
too. I don't know how
Tekken
big
8,
Tekken is,
yeah.
but yeah, Sparking Zero is gonna bring back
Yeah.
some people to the
We're
fighting
going we're
genre.
I'm excited to see if Evo is gonna be like the Evo Sparking Zero
Oh,
championship.
bro,
That would be hot,
Evo's
dude.
got a lot of content.
Hmm.
uh, bro, I mean, I have fingers crossed for Silk Song to come out, the Hollow Knight sequel, but like, we'll never know.
Oof.
It's not gonna happen.
What has
Yeah,
that like
We'll
been
see.
delayed a lot?
it's not. They just haven't
It
even
hasn't even been announced yet, dude. Well,
hasn't even
it's
Oh
been announced.
god.
It's we know it's in the works, but they've never even attempted to put a date on it. But it's
Jesus.
wish listable. It's been just
Skull
announced
and Bones
for
is
like a
finally
year.
coming out, allegedly, maybe.
Yeah, we talked about that garbage last time. It might be good. Who knows? A
Yeah,
game you might
Skull
have
and
forgot about,
Bones.
Sandland. I actually don't know if it's going to come out next year. Sandland was the game that is the same design as like the Dragon Ball series. The
Akira
creator of that,
Toriyama.
Akira
Yeah,
Toriyama, did is part of
I
the
forgot
animation
about
for it. So
Sandland.
that could be cool.
Yeah.
A lot of indie games I hope come out. There's probably a bunch of hype indie games that we'll cover later in the year, but I do know Sword of the Sea. That's going to be hype. That's the like successor
Oof.
to Journey.
Oh
Mm,
shit. Oh man. Yeah,
mm.
that's a lot of pretty steady shit coming out next
But
year.
yeah,
It was a lot more than I
I'm
thought.
not like, too excited about it. I hope we just get flabbergasted by something, though. I hope this
Like they
game comes
Yeah,
do
I mean,
that
they
you
do
forget
Summer
about
of
it.
Games. When they do Summer of Games, they just baffle us with a
oh yeah,
20-minute
Suicide
playthrough of
Squad.
Kingdom Hearts 4.
Bro,
Oh
yeah,
right,
they're
bro.
like
We got
Kingdom
that
Hearts 4
teaser
is
like two
December. I'm gonna be
years
like,
ago.
what? No
Yeah.
Forgot about that
way.
teaser.
After 16, 4 Kingdom Hearts 4 is
There's a
about
lot
to
of games coming out for series that we haven't played, so we'll see. Those are probably going to be hype. But
I wonder
Yeah.
if Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna try and finally get away from Disney.
It seems like they're trying to go more
hopefully,
Final Fantasy route with this
yeah,
one.
We're gonna go to all the Final Fantasy worlds. Final Fantasies 1 through 16,
yeah. But we
baby.
do still want to go to Star Wars, so
Yeah, we
All
need
Square Enix
Avengers and we
properties.
need Star Wars
that
bad
could be
because I want to
cool.
see superhero Sora and be
That could be
fired.
cool.
But yeah, I
Jedi
mean,
Sora.
if there's anything you're excited for within the new year, definitely let us know in the
Yeah,
comments below.
let us know your top from 2023. Let us know what you're
Yeah,
excited about in 2024.
Oh, bro, isn't Avatar supposed to come out next year?
yeah, the Avatar series is dropping next year.
Oh, and
Yeah, that could
Fallout,
be
right?
cool.
Netflix and
Oh,
Fallout.
Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah,
I am
Fallout
excited for
soon,
Fallout. That one
I
looks
think.
sick.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, plenty of games, movies, TV shows to get hyped for. As we said before at the beginning, we hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. We know we didn't drop a Christmas special, but that's technically what this is supposed to
Yeah, this
be.
is our holiday special. We're hitting
Yeah.
Christmas, we're hitting the new year, and also this is the 2 year anniversary of the WAC cast. Just
Yep.
about so
Yep. I think on the
big
21st or
celebrations.
22nd, we crossed our 2-year mark of making content. So, yeah, 2 years ago, we sat down right before Christmas and we decided to make the first episode of the WAC cast. And
So
here
thanks
we
for
are.
sticking around. Thanks
Yep.
for joining us
Thanks.
this year, guys. We're gonna keep coming out with content next year.
We've actually
Keep
been ramping
grilling.
up a little bit in views and shares. So thank you to everybody who has been checking out the content and sharing it around. That's really awesome. We're going to go, I will definitely say going into 2024, I'm going to try to up our production value as much as possible. So I'm going to try to maybe get us some new banners and stuff for social media, get a logo designed. We're going to have an official backdrop for the podcast. So lots of things are coming. And also don't forget, the three of us are writing a movie that
I
will
don't think we
probably,
mentioned that, but yeah,
yeah, I don't know
we're
if
doing a
we've talked
movie. We
about
haven't
it
talked
yet.
about it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're writing a movie and the probably will drop more about that next year. So stay tuned. And as
Yeah.
always, we appreciate you guys. Have a happy new year. Be
Happy
safe. Don't
holidays.
drink and
Happy New
drive.
Year.
Happy holidays. We will see you guys next year. Let's do it.
Bye. Say bye, Justin.
Bye.